today at the Sauder Alumni Center for a very special announcement for our Now and Forever comprehensive fundraising campaign. I'm DenaSue Potestio. I'm your foundation president. I'm very privileged to be your foundation president, working to advance our university. I'm also very pleased to work alongside this amazing gentleman, Dr. Michael Shonrock, who is the 16th president of Emporia State University. Stingers up. So I actually kind of want to hear Mr. Lohmeyer. Why don't you ring that bell again? Because this is a ring the bell moment. Let's hear it ring. You might be wondering, why are they ringing a bell of all things? What's up with the bell? Well, the concept of the bell, I know many of you know about Silent Joe. Silent Joe. How many of you know about Silent Joe? Raise your hand if you know about Silent Joe. Well, Silent Joe is actually the moniker of our comprehensive campaign, but one thing that we're saying now is that we are silent no more. We're silent no more. Unfortunately, Silent Joe had its nickname because Emporia State wasn't winning at football several years ago. And rather than ringing after a win, he was silent. But actually what we're suspecting is the reason why Silent Joe wasn't ringing is that many of our young men were actually overseas at war, in the Vietnam War, and therefore we weren't as able to be as competitive in those days. You might also know too that Emporia is the founding city of Veterans Day. So actually Silent Joe has some really wonderful tradition and some ties to Emporia State, something that we can all be very proud of. But the idea of victory and having a victory bell ringing, not just associated with athletics, but for all of the success surrounding Emporia State, is a very special thing, especially when it comes to philanthropy, which is why we're all here today. So, without further ado, you're all here to listen to an announcement from me. Boy, the anticipation. I'm very humbled and pleased to announce that we have a leadership gift for athletics from Steve and Bobbi Sauder that totals $605,500. When we talked with Steve and Bobbi about announcing this today, Steve didn't want to do it. Didn't want to do it. He said, DenaSue, it's not about me. It's not about me at all. I don't want to do it. And that's just an amazing testament of Steve's character. I first met Steve during my interview. I remember him sitting right next to me during my interview process, and ever since that day, he always has the most warm smile. Bobbi is amazing, always welcoming. And the humility that they both have for this gift, the reason why they're doing this, the reason why we're gathered here today, is because the gift signifies commitment and belief in Emporia State University. More than $500,000 invested into our university for the future. It's a tremendous statement. It's a tremendous statement. It's a statement about us. And so Steve, thank you for this amazing, generous gift. Bobbi, thank you. There's so much more I could say about philanthropy, but I want to say a couple of more things about Steve and the gift. You're sitting today in the Sauder Alumni Center. On your chairs is the name Sauder Alumni Center. And what was very important to Steve was to honor his father. And what he's doing is actually investing into his father's scholarship fund to more than double the amount of awards that will be going to student athletes in the future, from $50,000 per year to $125,000 per year. So what he's doing in his business mindset, he's leveraging the gift that his father made several years ago, and he's more than doubling it for the benefit of our students and our community. So it's a tremendous statement. Steve and Bobbi, they have a huge family. Just imagine the idea of giving giving more than $500,000 to an entity, to a hope, to a dream, to a future. And Steve's family is here today, Bobby's family is here today. It's tremendous to be so open-handed, and I'd like to close before I welcome President Shonrock with the whole reason why I'm here, why our foundation team is here, the idea of philanthropy, being open-handed with our resources, giving because we love something, because we love one another. It's a tremendous statement. It's a tremendous statement of humility and generosity and hope and commitment. And you all coming here today to listen to this is amazing. So hats off to you. Steve and Bobbi, thank you very much. And Dr. Shonrock.
Thank you. I don't usually use a mic. This really works. It's amazing what happens when you invest into a system. Well, let me, let's give everyone a round of applause for being, let's give everyone a round of applause. Give yourselves a round of applause for being here. Bobbi, Steve, thank you. From the deep part of our hearts, Karen and I, we not only see you as dear, dear friends, but as folks who've made our lives so special here at Emporia. So I thank you for your kind gift. I thank you as much for your kind friendship. That means so much to both of us. Steve, I think of the many times we've been together, and I know Dad's here. He's with us right now. He's so proud of you and Bobbi. He's particularly proud of you, to continuing on a tremendous tradition of giving back to something that really means something to you from the heart. There's lots of things that Karen and I love about both of you. Of course, now I have 605,000 other things to love about you. But your love continues on at Emporia State University each and every day. As we think about 150 years as a university, starting out with 18 students, a Bible and a dictionary, we've come a long way, baby. We've come a long way, and 150 years later, the continued success of this institution, but it's because of people care, because they give from their heart. And Bobbi and Steve, you've given from your heart, and that means so much to each and every one of us. At the end of the day, it really comes down to the differences we make in who students. I'm glad we have students here. I'm so proud of them. They're so very exciting to be around each and every day. They always make me smile. I can tell you story after story of our students, but they greatly appreciate everything that's done each and every day. And these private gifts, this giving from the heart, that makes a huge difference for the future of Emporia State University. We have been changing lives for a long time, and I won't take too much away from this idea called game changer, but today's gift is a game changer for Emporia State and our athletic program. It makes a difference. And many of you here are difference makers and continue to make a difference. Thank you for that. But most importantly, Bobbi and Steve, thank you from our hearts. Thank you to each and every one of us that's not only here today, but all of us around, all 60,000 Hornets. In fact, I walked in, I'm pretty sure I saw Corky starting to laugh and get excited. He just couldn't believe. In fact, I heard him say a few words, like, that Steve's a good guy. I said, yes, he is, Corky. But Steve, thank you. And Bobbi, thank you both for everything you have and continue to do. This campaign, now and forever, is an opportunity for us to continue to look at the future. A very bright future, may I say, for Emporia State University and for the community of Emporia. So this is a long-term investment. So we thank you for that long-term investment, and just know how much we appreciate you. Again, not only your gift, but more importantly, your friendship and your love of Emporia State and the Emporia community. So from our hearts, let's give you one more round of applause and thanks.
You can't hear it from here, but Silent Joe is actually ringing right now outside. We have students from our student foundation ringing the bell. And there's been an announcement that's gone out saying, can you hear the bell? What's going on? So there are others outside of the building today who are learning about the gift, and there's an an announcement on our website, so we're very excited about this. I failed to mention that Steve is the champion for athletics for our Now and Forever campaign, athletics campaign. And we have several members of the athletics committee here today. Would you all rise, members of the athletic committee? So we can give you a round of applause. Some of you are already standing.
Or if you'd now like to be members of the committee, please.
Steve will be telling you more about the committee in just a few moments and the success that they've had as a team. But before we do that, Kent, please come forward and share with us the great success of our athletics program. Kent Weiser.
Thank you, DenaSue. Each and every year, Emporia State Athletics provides educational and athletic competitive opportunities to hundreds of student athletes. They strive to not only achieve success on the field, but in the classroom as well. We have become nationally competitive in all of our athletic programs. Our softball team was national runner-up in 2006 and 2008. Our baseball team was national runner-up in 2009. Our women's basketball team was national champions in 2010, and our football team is just coming off a 10-2 Kansas Bowl championship. We have become, I don't want to say used to, but certainly we've raised our level of expectation to where we are going to compete with the best in the nation each and every chance we get. That clearly could not be done without the support, the very loyal support of people like Steve and Bobbi Sauder. No single family has really meant more to ESU athletics than the Sauder family. Earl certainly invested more in our student athletes than anyone before him, but now Steve and Bobbi have taken that support to an entirely different level. Steve is indeed the champion for athletics. He has tirelessly taken the Hornet athletic statement to Hornet fans and alumni across the country. Now he's backed his words with action by investing hundreds of thousands of dollars in the future of our student athletes and our program. Steve and Bobbi, your work, the impact of your work and generosity will have such a positively profound effect on Emporia State and Emporia State athletics now and forever. Thank you very much.
Coach Fornelli, where are you?
Hi.
There you are. Thank you for saying a few
Not a
remarks.
problem. Well, first of all, Steve, Bobbi, thank you guys for everything. The Sauder family, it's such a great thing for us as a community. We talk about all the time in our baseball program how to be a family. And I think the one thing about our athletics department, our community, and the city of Emporia, we're all family. And we all got to do it together. Steve and Bobbi just have a little bit more to give. You know, 26 years ago, I came to Emporia State to play baseball. I lived in the village apartments. I vacuumed the halls, picked up trash, took out trash, did whatever he told me to do, Steve being the owner. That's how I paid my rent, you know. And then 11 years ago, I got an opportunity for this job to come open, and I coached at Hayes before here, and every time we played here, Steve and I would talk on the sidelines, and I always told him if this job ever comes open, you know, this is where I'd like to be. And 11 years ago, he gave me an opportunity to come back here while I'm with Kent Weiser, and it's meant the world. And our program is, again, the last couple of years haven't been great, but we've had an opportunity to have great success here at Emporia State because of people like Steve and Bobbi and everything they do, and everybody else that's been a difference maker to our program. But number one thing about Emporia State, it's a family. You gotta love what you do, you bleed black and gold, and it's what we want to do each and every day. We want to get better, and Steve and Bobbi have allowed us to continue to get better and continue to strive. There's only been one national championship here, but we want a bunch more. So, Steve and Bobbi, the Sauder family, thank you guys for everything. Thank you.
I'd like to introduce Chris Poston, Chris is one of our great football players and also partaking in the Summer Academy this year, our Hornet Athlete Summer Academy, which is fully funded through private gifts through the Now and Forever campaign.
Hi everyone, thank you for letting me speak at such a great event. For those who were at the SU auction a month ago, I spoke about what the Now and Forever program has done for the SU football program, not only for us, but for everyone else that's a student athlete as well. It's allowed us to keep our athletes here this summer and advance themselves along their college paths. For myself, I just got done with managerial accounting and U.S. history before 1877. Two classes that would have been very difficult for me to take in the fall during our season. And so I'm really glad that I got to not only take them this summer, but also for free of charge. And so it was great. Last spring, when I got back to Emporia, I hardly recognized it with all the renovations that have taken place after my 3-year hiatus. And I was astounded, to say the least. And with such a generous donation from Mr. and Mrs. Sauder, I know that the possibilities that this university has to continue renovating itself is unmeasurable. And although I will not be able to indulge in the new buildings, facilities, whatever may come about as a student athlete, I look forward to the day that I come back as an alumni and I can be proud and say that possibly I made a difference in the advancement of this university. And so I'm happy to be a Hornet again, and this is a great family, and I look forward to the upcoming fall. And I can assure you guys that our performance on the field will reflect our gratitude to everyone that helps with the Now and Forever program. So thank you again.
Chris. You are a great advocate for us. Thank you. Now I'd like to welcome Rheanna Egli, one of our great women's basketball players. Rheanna, take it away.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. Steve and Bobbi, I'm kind of just here to, I guess, kind of go off of what Chris said, but we're just so appreciative of you guys and everyone else who puts in so much time and money into our program and into what we're here to do, and that's, get our education and play the sports that we all love. For me, I come from Iowa, about almost 5 hours away, and I told my parents, I could go anywhere, I could fly across the country and go to school. That's not the case. You leave and you're like, oh, it's home's home. And this has really become a second home for me. I love it here, and it makes it that much easier to leave home when I go back because I know I'm coming back to this family. And so I really do appreciate it. And from me and my team and all the other athletes, just what you guys are giving us, you just believe in us and you believe in our future, and that we can, go to school here and get so many, get our school paid for and experience so many things and travel and, win. It's always nice too. It just means so much, and I know, like Chris said, when I come back and show, my kids, this is where at Emporia State University, that's my school, that's where I'm from, it really does. It leaves a place in your heart, and I can't wait to see where everything's going to go from here with the awesome donations from you guys and from everyone else who's part of the nonprofit program. So thank you.
John, why don't you ring that bell for our students, because that's really why we're here. Awesome. As you can tell, I really like the bell, and I really love our students. You guys are awesome, and the reason why we're here because we believe in you and your future. Coach Higgins, come forward, share with us some thoughts. What a great year we had last year, winner of the Kansas Bowl, 10-2 season. We're very excited about this upcoming season.
Yes, I am wearing a suit. Got one to wear about 8 months out of the year. 6.5 years ago, when the head football job opened up here at Emporia State University, the first person I called was Steve Sauder. And I'd gotten to know Steve through being up here at different occasions, whether it be at the country club or we might be at the same wedding, and we would talk similar to what Bob talked about, And I always told him that I would always be interested in coming back to Emporia State University. I remember that night I was actually driving on the phone and talking to him, and he went through everything with me. I mean, he talked about the challenges of the job, and it's a tough job, and you're in a league that's very tough, and some of the powerhouses in football may have some things that, some toys or whatever that you're not going to have, and kind of laid it all out there for me. And I kind of began to wonder whether or not he wanted me to apply for the job. Anyway, I will tell you, Steve, I didn't listen to you. I know it's hard to believe, but I didn't listen to you because it was my dream to come back to Emporia State University, back to my alma mater, and have the opportunity to be the head football coach here at Emporia State. I learned a lot of things from coaches, and I learned a lot from my father about hard work, rolling your sleeves up, do the best you can, do the right thing, and good things will happen. And we had the opportunity to have a very successful year this past year. And the thing about all the coaches here at Emporia State University is that all of us work hard. We understand the work and the effort that each one individually puts in within their sport. We all respect that. We get it. We understand that, and this term has been used a lot before. Not going to be used anymore now, but before it was, hey, the coaches always do more with less, which, as I said, we all got it. We all understood it. It's not really that we like to hear it all the time, but this gift from Steve and Bobby gives us the opportunity now, that first step where we can do more with more as we go out and compete in our sports. All the coaches here at Emporia State University, I know, are excited about what's going on. I mean, it's a great thing. Today is a great day. All right. Number one, we have a president that understands that athletics can be a positive influence on the university, and understands that athletics can be a window to the university. We have the Now and Forever campaign that's been started, and people are out there going out and raising money. $5.6 million is geared towards athletics. That's beautiful music to a coach's ear, I will tell you. So, as I said, a lot of great things are happening. It is nice to know that there's somebody that is taking the lead with this campaign, and that's Steve and Bobby. I've had the opportunity to go out with Steve one day, him and Shane out on the circuit, I guess you might say, on the kind of fundraising circuit. And I was able to see, and I know Steve, and we talk on the golf course and things like that, but it was a different dynamic that day, because I was able to see Steve talk about the passion he has for Emporia State University and how driven he is about this campaign. And I know him and Bobby both, they're at every function that Emporia State has. I mean, if you're ever worried about, if I was ever worried about somebody showing up to something I was having, I would always know that Bobby and Steve were going to be there. That was a given. And great fans of Emporia State athletics. I know that Steve is the type that will get excited about all the wins and will get disappointed in the losses. I'm sure there's probably been a couple times on Saturday afternoons that, maybe up in that suite might have had a few choice words about the performance on the field, or maybe a bad play call or whatever. But I always try to tell Steve, hey, Steve, I called the good plays, and all my assistants, they called the bad ones. And he never really believed me on that deal. But the thing about with the wins and losses that I will tell you is that through every bad loss, I always remember getting a text or a phone call, mostly text, but those were encouraging words of, hey, you guys are playing hard, keep improving, we're behind you, ... winter tie, you know. But got a lot of phone calls this year, definitely with the success that we had, and that goes a long way, and that means a lot. I mentioned a little bit about my father. I'm going to end this here, but this is very important to me. I talked a little bit about my father, and he was in the coaching profession. He coached football, and for me as a son, it's always nice to know that after a big win or he sees you having success, that he feels good about what you're doing. And that's really important to me. And I know today that, and I never had the opportunity to meet Earl personally, but I know today, I think we can all sit here today, Steve, and know that Earl is looking down upon us and has a smile of pride and approval as his son takes the torch and now begins to take us to bigger and greater opportunities in Emporia State athletics. So from the bottom of my heart, from all the Emporia State coaches, from all the student athletes, we say thank you to Steve and Bobbi Sauder. Oh, one more thing. Steve, I will tell you this, no matter how much money you donate, and this is going to be kind of funny now, anytime I can still sink a birdie putt to beat your rear end in golf, I'm going to do it.
Thank you, Coach Higgins. To date, the Now and Forever campaign has raised over $12.7 million. We're on our way to $45 million plus. We thought it would be very fitting today to ring the bell for the first time for an athletic gift, because Silent Joe has traditionally been associated with athletics. But we'll have many more announcements. $13 million is quite an amazing sum of money. So many of you in this room today have given to the campaign, and I would like to thank you for your generosity of spirit and resources for us to come together and raise up Emporia State and our students preparing for a very bright future. Let's think big. Let's think big, like Steve and Bobbi have thought big. So Steve, please come up, share with us some thoughts. Steve has told me that he's having the time of his life, and he feels like he's had quite a few successful business ventures. He tells me that he's feeling now like when he's started a successful business venture, so that really makes me excited.
Some of you wonder who they're talking about. First of all, I want you to know how humble I am to be associated with this university and the athletic department. What a pleasure to work with Kent and Shane and Carol Cooper and all of them, everybody, but those three in particular. They work pretty hard, and they've been working me pretty hard. And but it's great. Being asked to be the champion of this campaign is one of the highlights of my life. And they didn't have to ask twice. I wanted to do it. Dr. Shonrock always says, imagine Steve being involved with athletics. So, there's a lot of things important in my life, but this is important. I want to talk about our committee. And they were introduced, we stood up. But we asked 20 former athletes, coaches, fans to be on our Now and Forever Athletics Committee. And they've not only helped with referrals and ideas and suggestions and helping make contacts, each member of our committee has made a financial commitment to the drive. And that's a large reason today. I think the big celebration today should be the fact that our athletic committee, of our $5.6 million goal, we've raised 53% of it already. Is there a check up here? What happened to the checks?
I got it.
I want yeah, this. Dr. Shonrock. on behalf of our committee, we just started to fight though. I promise you. I promise you.
I'm waiting for the next chapter.
You know, I thought I knew a lot about Emporia State athletics before we started, but I've learned a whole lot more. And Bob Fornelli mentioned it, or Garin, one of them, mentioned doing more with less. But I think what the coaches at Emporia State accomplish every day, every year, every season is like making water out of wine. We're down the line a little ways. You know, the consultant's report said Emporia State athletics operate in a culture of doing more with less. And that's a quote, and it's true, but what an understatement. And the passion the coaches at Emporia State exhibit is a great motivator for Bobby and I. Garin told his little story. I've told that story a lot as we've been out on the campaign trail, because I didn't want my friend Garin Higgins to come here and be the football coach and take it with it and not know that there were going to be times when, as he put it, other people were going to have more toys than he did. We wanted him to be the football coach, and he wanted to be the football coach, but he needed to understand the reality of the situation. And so I applaud our coaches, and I give our coaches a round of applause. They do an awesome job. It makes Shane and my job a lot easier to go ask for contributions because of the great product that we have. If you use the Athletic Director's Cup, and a lot of you have heard this, but I'm going to say it now and a bunch of other times, if you use the Athletic Director's Cup as your gauge, Emporia State ranks third in the MIAA in success of our athletic programs over the last 7 years. And when you combine that with the fact that funding is next to the bottom and $1.5 million below the curve, you understand what a great job that our coaches do. So hats off to those guys. I want to make a couple of introductions. First of all, you've been hearing about Bobby, and you may get to come up if we get to present that check. They've got another one. But right now, Bobby, would you please stand up? We celebrated our 6th wedding anniversary last week, and I think she probably qualifies now as a Hornet, even though she does hold a degree from Pittsburgh State. Also, my sister Pam. I'd like to be introducing her today, but she came yesterday. She was in this room. She called me from this room. She said, man, they got the tables set up. I find my nameplate and everything, but nobody's here. And she's having bridge club at her house this afternoon, so she's not here. But I do have, we're Laura and Alexander. There's Alexander, and Laura's clear back there with Eli. This is Bobby's youngest daughter and her husband. That's Laura and Alexander and Eli. And they're with us this month. They're on their way. They're moving from Portland to Milwaukee, where Laura will teach, and Alexander is in the construction trades. And Laura, by the way, is an Emporia State graduate. And then I have 2 of my sons here. My oldest son, Brady, in the back, along with his wife, Christine. And their 2 sons, Tate and Trey. And they live in Manhattan. And then Jamie and Jennifer. Jamie would be the youngest son, and Jim. And their sons, Brooks and Hudson. There we go. My middle son, TJ's oldest boy, is starting a baseball tournament in Lee Summit tonight, and that's a good excuse for not being here. So, and then I have some co-workers here, and I want to introduce them as well. Diane Trotfolds. Where Diane is, yeah, clear back there. She's the general manager at Candlewood Suites. Rick Tidwell, Stormy Super, and Bob Agler with ValueNet. Stormy's here. Rick and Bob not making it? Couldn't get off?
Rick's behind us.
Okay. Ron Thomas. I know Ron's here. General manager of KVOE and Emporia's radio stations. He doesn't like that. He likes KVOE and KVOE, FM, Mix 104.9, and all that. Aaron Harder is here. Aaron and I work together. Aaron's involved in all of everything we do. And also Greg Ray's here, I think. Where's Greg? And Chuck. I saw Chuck Samples from the radio station. Yeah, over here. So, okay. You know, my parents, we've talked a lot about my dad, but it's really about my parents. And, of course, one of their favorite things was don't give until it hurts, give until it feels good. And evidently that lesson came through loud and clear because making gifts makes Bobby and I really feel good. You know, along with family, faith, our friends, Emporia State University and the Emporia community are very near and dear to us. We really appreciate the bond between ESU and the community, and we understand how helping one has a positive effect on the other. My mom received her teaching certificate here at Emporia State. I wish Pam was here because my mom's birthday was last week also, and she would have been, what did we decide, 97? I think she would have been 97 years old, born in 1960. But anyway, she got her teaching certificate from Emporia State. She got a job at Madison, and that set up the situation for her to meet my dad. That's important because my dad didn't ever go to college, but the reason my dad got associated with Emporia State and his first association was to donate the money to make the lead gift for this building, the Sauder Alumni Center, and he did that to honor my mom, who was in a Presbyterian Manor with Alzheimer's disease. And that was the way, that was his association with that. Dad's last gift to the university was to create the Earl Sauder Athletic Scholarships. That gift currently touches the lives of 14 or 15 ESU students every year. We have a luncheon once a year to honor those kids. The coaches come. It's always fun, and I always have a great time telling them about my dad. And my dad didn't have an athletic bone in his body, but he got associated with Emporia State Athletics, and it was great. I always tell those kids, my dad always got mad at the basketball games because he couldn't understand how they could miss free throws. He said, for Christ's sake, they don't even guard them. Today, Bobby and I are announcing our pledge, I guess it's already been announced, to match the annual output from Dad's gift for the next 10 years. This and an adjustment to the annual payout from Dad's existing fund will effectively extend the Earl Sauder Athletic Scholarships Program to over 3 dozen Emporia State athletes. Our gift accomplishes several things that are important to Bobby and me. It makes us feel really good, number one. Number two, it perpetuates my parents' legacy. The Earl Sauder Athletic Scholars will be part of the ESU landscape now and forever. Number three, it will also help ESU athletics sustain their level of success and hopefully even higher levels of success. And it will help attract students to attend the university and consequently live in Emporia. We're making our pledge public to assist in publicizing ESU's Now and Forever campaign. It is our hope that our commitment will motivate others to join in this effort. You know, if we're going to be successful in raising $45 million, and guess what? We had a meeting this morning. Hey, $45 million is a working goal. The numbers are going up, folks. So, by the way, if we haven't been to see you, we will be coming to see you. If the foundation is to be successful in raising over $45 million to support the university, we must attract gifts of all sizes and all shapes. ESU athletics has been tremendously successful, but to sustain their winning ways, new funds must be discovered. Lastly, Bobby and I acknowledge very humbly how richly blessed we have been how richly we have been blessed. And we make this pledge knowing we're simply giving back a little of what God has provided us. You know, I'm amazed. I didn't know how many people would be here. This is a great university. We have a great leader. I just want to thank you all for coming and say one more time, it's a great day to be a Hornet. Sting yourself.
It's not signed.
Good point, Jeff.
Don't worry, I have a signature now and forever.
All right.
At this time, I'd like to introduce Lana Oleen, who is the chair of our Emporia State University Foundation. When I first arrived with our team, I said, why are we here? What is our mission? And everyone kind of looked at one another, and this is our internal team, not our trustees, and I said, we're here to raise money for Emporia State University. We're here to advance our university, to raise money, raise private support. And Lana has been a great, great leader and advocate of that effort. So with that, Lana, thank you for being here. She's going to lead us in a toast and offer a few remarks.
I'll do the remarks first. I remember when, it seems like I'm following Steve here, but Steve, you were a senior when I was a freshman, so I just wanted to clarify that. And we've been longtime friends, so I'm very pleased on behalf of the foundation board, our trustees. In fact, we have a number of trustees here. Would you just stand or wave your hand here? Trustees and former trustees. They help get the work done. I enjoy very much working with them, and it's been great to kind of renew friendships with Steve and Bobbi, and what a great family you have. And I'll tell you, holding a toddler for that long and being able to, you've got great management skills, I assure you. But it's wonderful to have your family surround you during this special day. Now and forever, the campaign is off, running, and has made significant achievements, and this is the first of many celebrations. I remember the officers and myself, and they are here. Kim, if you would come up, Kim Penner and Steve Williams, and kind of stand behind me. If you want to say something, you can push me one side or the other, but we talked about identifying a champion for athletics, and it wasn't a matter of a list of 10 and going down to one. We got the one we wanted at the first request. And Steve, it's been wonderful to work with you. And I know that you are working your tail off, stingers up, all the time to increase that funding for athletics and for the Now and Forever campaign. The way this works is that the money will come to the foundation, but then the money goes to the students. And we are thrilled that we have not only trustees here today and friends and alumni, but many of you who have contributed in ways to this university and will continue to contribute. So the ability for all of us to celebrate, to recognize one another in friendship, you can start pouring the champagne, but I'm going to be getting close here in a minute. If you want to start. Yeah, I can start. I do want to especially thank the staff. Several were mentioned earlier today, but they too are in the business of raising private resources for the university. This lead gift is a wonderful celebration. The Sauders have been constant and impressive in not only the way that they have worked with the university, but in this community. And we are so pleased to receive these funds on behalf of the students. So with that in mind, if you would stand, and I'll ask my officers here, if they have any comments they'd like to make. And so on behalf, I think we'll read this today.
Just one glass per person, okay?
Steve and Bobbi, you are so key to making it happen for Emporia State, the Now and Then campaign. I'm so happy that your family could be here to share this special day as well. And to Steve and Bobbi Sauder, many thanks.
Here, here. Yeah.
Here, girl. Steve. Grandma. Hi.
Here we go.
Hi, camera. Cheers to you.
That airborne.
To each other this summer, and they're all turning 9. One turned 9 yesterday, and then there's two that turned 6 in March, and then one stands alone. Tate stands alone. He'll be 12 in September. Eli
Steve and Bobbi, we could have you come forward. We have one last special presentation, and we'd actually have the signing as well of the letter of gift intent.
I think they want me to sign the check. That's fine.
Keep Steve. Keep the pen.
Keep the pen.
What Steve and Bobbi have in front of them is their letter of intent, just like an athlete signs a letter of intent to come to Emporia State University. They have a letter of gift intent, so we're absolutely thrilled and humbled by their generosity. Thank you again.
Oh, I'm gonna tell them.
Yeah, you're,
Yeah.
while you're on the top. Told you I'd get the signature.
That will read names.
Be careful.
Put right the board on that. Jamie said keep the pen.
$600,000 pen. Let's see what they look like. Again, on behalf of the very grateful Hornet family and Hornet Nation, thank you from our hearts. It means so much to us, and as you know, we are silent no more. And so as a part of this wonderful day, we'd like to also present with you, along with pens, a special gift in recognition of our campaign now and forever, because we will be here to be successful now and forever. So as we go forward, we want you to be the first to receive an official, now and forever, silent no more bell. Please come forward. You get to ring and everything.
Not unless you ring it first.
Well, I'm just testing it. Might have been a low bid, I don't know. Go ahead and